I'm Alexander Surya-Jayani. It's 12:08, August 30th. Mulder, I am Penguin Duck birthmark. I was born June 5th, 1984. You should see long black hair and a man bun if you don't, and an eyebrow ring, a black mustache, black lower lip hair, black chin hair. If you don't, you're looking at manufactured surveillance. You should see real Alexander Surya-Jayani in real life. From Teresa Martirana Jayani's womb. If you don't, you're looking at manufactured screen surveillance, more into zero credibility. Yeah, I'm getting tired with that. But I do it myself. Don't program that into me. I'm just fed up with these guys lie after lie, or basically what I'm told, what I'm led to believe based off of information from people that I receive. Sometimes credible, a lot of the time not now, especially now. So I've never seen this room, so I don't know if it's true or not. But if you don't see Gianni, then you're looking at manufactured surveillance, and if you do, then ignore what I said. Regardless of that, as I said in my methods of analysis, document number 3, the 1400-page one that I wrote, not this DJ guy, they use prediction hustles, and part of their hustle is they turn something they call the sensitivity up, and then they use low tone telepathy or talk into the telepathy to where I can barely hear it. So it's almost like little bits of data flowing into my brain. At the same time, over time, they sit around just saying phrases to me repeatedly, and repeated attacks and insults and random statements. So they're conditioning these phrases and statements and this data into my brain. So then the way they capitalize off of these statements and data that they say daily, multiple times a day throughout the day, and trying to store those little bits and statements into my brain is they'll turn up the sensitivity and then say low tone stuff to me where I can barely make it out, and then capitalize off of how the brain works when it is given certain pieces of data, but not all the data necessary it needs. So they'll say stuff to me low tone, and then my brain will automatically predict it, thinks it's hearing something it's familiar with and something it's been conditioned to hearing over time, something that's so it will pull from the most the it will predict based off of its environment. And if I've been submitted to certain phrases and statements over a long period of time, when I'm hearing these low tone things with the high sensitivity, my brain will try to predict what it's hearing. And based off of the environment of 5 years and 6 months, the typical things it will think it's hearing, or the things it will predict, is the typical statements that they're trying to condition into my brain over 5 years and 6 months. So that's their prediction hustle. Is they'll condition statements into my brain, then they'll turn up the sensitivity, turn on low tone, and when I hear little bits and pieces, my brain will try to construct those or try to predict what it hears based off of past experience from the environment I've been hearing via telepathy over 5 years and 6 months. They do it at different points in time, but it's typically the same nonsense and phrases, a lot of these guys. Granted, there's been different stuff too. It's not always these attacks and insults and this and that. There's also information. But some of the stuff involves trying to condition phrases and statements into my brain so that when I hear something low tone I can't make out, my brain will predict these statements it's heard over a period of time. But it's not always that for 5 years and 6 months. There's different stuff, 12 to 17 hours a day. But that's a piece of it too. Key point. So my brain will predict based off of what it's familiar with from the telepathy environment, and it'll probably predict, oh, they must be saying that again, or attacking me in some way, or misrepresenting me in some way, or saying this statement or that statement, this statement they commonly say on a regular basis, this kind of jazz, and then they'll even pretend it's me saying it when it's really them, or just me or my brain just predicting what they're saying, and that's a piece of it too, like their stupid end hustle, or if that was the most familiar thing over a period of time, or their newest most familiar thing over a period of time, my brain will predict it and then think they're saying that. So that's one of their hustles. And yeah, they need to quit using tech on me when I explain it, but it's in my methods of analysis as well. Number 3. And it was originally made on my first computer, the CO2 M50HZFD56, and then transferred to my new computer. So key point. So don't fall for that hustle either. They love to leave that part out as well. So some of the documents on this computer were on my original MacBook Pro, the CO2 M50HZFD56. If that's not mentioned in the notes, that should tell you the level of credibility these people have. 0. Key point.